Order in the court.
I don't know what could have happened. I don't know what went wrong. I wish I would have stayed home from work. I don't know. I don't know. That's all I know. This morning I woke up, me and Neveah went to the store. I had to be at work for 8:15. I brought her to the corner store with me. I got her some snacks, some apple juice. We came back home. I finished getting ready for work. Neveah, the little girl, my little boy, and her daddy brought me to work, and that's the last time I see my baby. The last time I see my baby was before I went to work when I got dropped off. That's all. When I went to work, she had on her yellow dress with the pineapples on it, and she should have still had on that dress.
Okay, in case you missed it, out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, on September 24th, 2021. That was the interview from the mother, Linnea Cardwell. She's the mother of the missing toddler. Now, Philip Gardner, 30 years old, her boyfriend, said he was taking a nap. When he woke up, the 2-year-old girl, Neveah Allen, she was missing, and the door was wide open. Now, I think several of the children may reside in the home or they may visit, but however, Neveah, she was the only one that was missing. So, the investigators would put together a search, and they used it on the pings according to the boyfriend's cell phone, to my knowledge. It was off a highway, and remember, they're in Baton Rouge, so I take it across state lines would be Mississippi, and this is where they would find pretty much the remains of the little girl. So I'm not quite sure who they arrested first, but I believe it was him. He was arrested, and then I think she was arrested promptly after. This was around like October 3rd. Okay, so when the boyfriend is arrested, he decides to tell the truth about what really happened to the baby. He said that Cardwell was getting ready for work, and Neveah, she grabbed her contacts, and this kind of pissed the mother off to where she had punched her so hard that she had went flying into a cabinet. Then he said the mother took her daughter into another room, and he said it sounded like 2 adults fighting. This is what he says. He said then Cardwell had left and went to work. Later on, Neveah, she didn't want to eat, and she was complaining of her stomach hurting. Then she was unresponsive, and I believe that he then decided to stuff the baby in a suitcase and then take the baby to that wooded area across state lines instead of seeking medical attention. I don't understand why that's not an option. After, children always say their tummy's hurt. So you say, go lay down. But if they're not looking good, if they're not breathing good, if you know that something violent had happened earlier, maybe she needs medical attention. I don't understand. That's why that's not in these parents' mind. Let me get my baby to the doctor. Instead, they say, oh, well, let me just bring them to a whole nother state and leave them in an abandoned house or put them in the woods. This is happening way too much and lately. So they gather everybody that needed to be in jail, that's in jail. The boyfriends, and trust me, the father of Neveah, he wants it to be known that that is the boyfriend, not the stepfather. He's a boyfriend. And actually, I have his interview that I listened to earlier that I attached with this. He wanted everybody to share it, and I attached it with this here. So there was a bond of $300,000 for Linnea Cardwell, that the judge was going to give to her so she can try to get out. However, he decided to put that bond on hold, and that's very good. By the way, she was 8 months pregnant when she was arrested. So now I am recording this January 30th, so she should have had that baby. And I did try to go in and look into if she was able to keep the baby, because I know in some situations, I know it's prison, and I know she hadn't been sentenced yet, but I know in some situations they'll let you keep the baby for 6 months to a year. I know, but somebody probably went and got the baby. I'm just guesstimating right now. I have no idea, but she was pregnant when she was arrested. The crazy part about it is the man that went to dispose of Neveah for her, he is a father, and I went and I looked on his Facebook page of how he's just, brags about his daughter, like he's supposed to do. But I don't understand, how can you be so loving to one child that's yours and quickly to discard another baby's body? And then when you get arrested, then you want to tell all. I don't get that. When your life is now on the line, then you want to tell all. I mean, you risked everything. You did this for her while she was at work. You did all this for her. You put your life on the line. You risked never seeing your children again. You did all that. So basically, you are right where you belong. But again, how can you quickly just dump this little girl in the woods and you have a child? Would you want somebody to do that to your baby? People are so quick to say, you know what, that's not my kid. They're so quick to say that and not worried about somebody else's kid. That's not my kid. Someone is saying that to your kid. That's not my kid. You're not with your children 24 hours a day. That's just terrible. The minute she started wailing on that child in an unhealthy way, he should have stopped her. He should have pulled the mother away, picked up the child, say, stop it. This is just a baby. If you don't protect children and they're right there in front of you, then you are just as guilty as the person doing it. This is a baby. She needed protection. And you, the boyfriend, you couldn't even help this little girl out? How about call 911? If you had nothing to do with it. It's just outrageous. This little girl could still be here. I don't understand people's thinking. I really don't. All this week, I'm bringing cases of children. All this week. And I hate doing it. But you know what? It's so many. I try to ignore it sometimes, but I can't. I knew about this case when it happened. But I'm like, wow, another one. And it just doesn't ever seem to stop. This mother, to me, is a lunatic. She posts on her Facebook page, quote, "My Nunu, my baby, my first love, can't live without you. I know you need me too." When she knew what she did and she knew where her baby was at. This is what she posted. That whole several days that her baby was publicly missing because she knew where her baby was, she posted a mirage of all these pictures of them two together. Psychopath. That's what she did. And she, again, I'm so glad she didn't get out. There was one more thing I wanted to say before I play the father's interview. A lot of people have said that the woman, the mother, she was in a domestic relationship with the boyfriend, Gardner. Okay, she chose to be in that relationship. Why not tell him to get the hell on? Apparently that was her apartment, I'm thinking. Or why didn't she take her kids and leave if she was in such an abusive relationship? So her abuse had nothing to do with what she inflicted on that little girl in the end. And then what they did afterwards. You people are making me think your mistakes you just don't even care. If I accidentally did something to my kid, I am going to make sure I seek medical attention. If I get in trouble, then I deserve it. But I'm not going to say, oh, discard the baby. And I read an article. They said the baby could have still been alive in that suitcase. If she was unconscious, she was alive. Definitely justice for Neveah Allen. Rest in peace.
My name is Marcus Allen. I am the father of Neveah Allen. And I'm just really making this video to give an update on everything that's happened, everything that's going on, and everything that's been in the news. It's probably gonna be pretty lengthy, so just bear with me at this point. So Friday morning at 8:15, my daughter was last seen with her mother when she got dropped off to work. And she works at, I'm not sure where she works, but I know it's somewhere on Plank. And the neighbor seen my daughter, the boyfriend. First of all, let's clear that up. That's not her stepfather. That nigga was never married to her mom. That nigga ain't shit to her. It's just a boyfriend. At this point, he's really a bitch, if we gonna call a spade a spade. And his name is Keegan. Well, his real name is fucking Philip Gardner. Philip Keegan Gardner, if y'all really need to know the name. She was last seen by any other person that day around 9 o'clock when he pulled up to their apartment. And they got out. My daughter waved at one of the neighbors like she usually does. And they went inside, and that's the last time she was seen by any other person other than the bitch ass nigga. I got a call at 4:30 while I was at work saying that my daughter was missing, and the story at the time was that he had went to sleep and he got woken up by his son who was coming home from school, and the door was wide open, and Neveah was missing, but all the other kids were okay. And he has 2 or 3 other kids. One daughter that's my daughter's age, and another kid that's too young to walk on their own. But the daughter is the same size as my kid, and the way they are with each other, she's not going anywhere by herself. So that story is completely false. She never walked out of the apartment on her own. And I just got news today that he texted my baby mom at around 1 o'clock Friday afternoon saying that he was putting the kids down for a nap, and he was on the interstate at the time. They have his location while he was texting and everything, so they know he was not putting them down for a nap. He was on the interstate, either coming from Mississippi or to Mississippi. He has a house in Slidell, so that's probably either where he dropped her off at to get her to Mississippi or whatever, to make it back in time for his son to get home so nobody would think anything. Really, and my daughter's body was found in Mississippi yesterday. Well, today, really. I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, it's still today. And then I got word that my daughter was found from WAFB on Twitter before I even got word from a detective. And the detective didn't call me until 7:47 this afternoon. And I had already knew for like 3 or 4 hours at this point. And the only way I confirmed that information was because I have a friend that rides bikes with one of the sheriffs, and they already confirmed it, but nobody called me until later. We're going to view the body tomorrow. I don't really know what else to say at this point. Oh, the grandmother that supposedly did an interview, it's not her grandmother. That bitch is not related to my daughter whatsoever. That is the mother of the bitch ass nigga that did this shit. So don't take her word for shit. We don't fucking know that bitch. I don't know that bitch. My daughter doesn't know that bitch. So I don't remember what her name is, but I'm pretty sure that the interview is out there. So fuck her. Really at this point the family's really just asking for prayers. Not sure when we're having a funeral service. I haven't even seen the body yet, and I won't see it until after the autopsy is done tomorrow, and we're going first thing in the morning to actually, for me to confirm, because I haven't seen anything. Really just thank you to everybody who's chimed in, who's posted anything about it. I appreciate every single one of y'all. And about the prank phone calls, that shit gotta stop. There's too much going on for me to have to worry about prank phone calls. Nigga, like, if y'all could see I'm getting the shit as I'm recording this. Like, there's too many of them, and the shit is fucking retarded. Like, I am a grieving father who just found out my fucking little girl is missing, my nigga. And y'all call and say, oh, I found her. Oh, I'm about to kill her. Oh, like, y'all don't even want to know what I'm thinking about them people. If you do have my number and you do actually care, I appreciate everything that you sent, everything that you said, anything that you posted about my daughter. At this point, once we find out funeral proceedings and everything, I'll make another update, and I'm probably gonna find out some more shit in the morning. So just stay praying with me at this point, and really thank y'all.